Right, we're going to start the interview now, Rowland. Thanks for your time. Would you like to start by telling us a bit about yourself and how you got involved with the Right to Control?
Yes, as part of my peer support calling, let's say, I felt that especially people with mental distress, they're somewhat isolated in the world and marginalised. And I think Right to Control can make a significant contribution to people with mental distress and to deliver a quality of life.
Excellent. So how do you think Right to Control will help to improve people, not just with mental health, but across the board with disabilities? What does it bring that's different to things you've been involved with in the past?
Because there are projective outcomes from the start. We have been involved at the highest level, and we've been involved at the beginning of the process, not somewhere down the line, because it's not just enough to get involved. We need to be engaged with, and we need to define what's being delivered, how it is designed, and the outcomes. That will be the difference.
By we, you mean disabled people?
Yes.
Or people that can benefit from Right to Control, disabled or older people, perhaps?
Of course, because I wouldn't come into your life and tell you what's good or best for you. So people can identify what their needs are and get it. I know it sounds simple, but life is simple.
Excellent. What do you think the design group and that buzzword that we use, co-production, brings to the Right to Control scheme?
It's not just the form that we're involved, it's the content. And the content is, in whichever area you are, or designated by society, we have something called lived experience. And believe me, that is priceless.
So lived experience, that means living with a disability and what that means. Excellent. Now, I know that you're a strong believer in something we term in the design group peer support.
Yep.
Can you talk to me a bit about peer support and in the context of what it can bring to the Right to Control?
Yes, on evidence-based practice that I've been involved with in America, it's been shown that lived experience, as I said before, can make a difference. The problem up to now is that in the main, though in certain countries like in New Zealand, in Denmark and other countries, people with lived experience who bring that experience to bear on designing and delivering services are valued, and that's where the difference is. And why peer support? Because, let's say this, because it is true, where I've been and other people have been, they say if it doesn't kill you, it'll only make you stronger. We have an insight into the human condition and psyche you'll never get out of a book, no matter how many years you did at university. Now we need to bring that to bear with governments, with councils, et al., so that we are integral to Right to Control. Because without us, it's not Right to Control, it's qualitatively different.
Alright, so Right to Control, in terms of a disabled person who's looking at the world of benefits, why, in your opinion, Rowland, as an experienced man around this area, why should someone take up their Right to Control?
From a mental health perspective, you'd be mad not to. You should, because this is about what it says on the tin, isn't it? Or it should be, Right to Control. Not someone delivering some prescriptive, I don't know what the word is, judgmental, not really humane, like I say, that's looking at it from whose perspective. You see, Right to Control should be what we would put together, and it is what we put together. Not only that, what we have identified that would make a difference in our life. And it also frees us up to, like I say, live life to the full. And we need to feel part of something So designing and delivering it is integral to it. But then the trick is for people who've been, like I say, put in that position for far too long, which creates, in my esteem, something called learned helplessness, and that's found disability. So people now need to say, okay, you talk of wish lists and everything, so I suppose in, you know, an ideal world this is a wish list, but it's also something that is integral to moving on. When I say moving on, I mean in areas of your life that are important. You know what I mean? Whether it's housing, whether it's socialising, which is a main element. So it's about all those things that are important to us, yeah, that make up what it is to be human at the dawn of the 21st century.
Something you mentioned before, it sounds like you're saying that the right to control is something that can help people reach the potential and live a truly independent life.
Yeah.
Yeah, which perhaps it would be fair to say that society maybe has denied them before without having that right to control. Would that be a fair reflection of what the right to control can bring to an individual with a disability?
Definitely, whether intentionally or unintentionally. You know, that's been the problem. Someone somewhere deciding, like I say, what's good for you or what should be done to you. You know, this is not about being done to. This is about freeing people up to identify those areas, like I say, of your life that will make it more than just bearable. You see, my friends, it's not enough just to survive, for we need to thrive. We need to live to life for the full, like I say, full of compassion, humour, and if you don't mind, not a little style.
Well, you've got plenty of that, Rowland, plenty of style, and you know.
I told you a million times not to exaggerate.
But you know, the right to control, everything so far seems positive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what areas would you like to think that we can improve things in the design group or going forward in the future? As we know, the right to control at the moment is a pilot. You know, how would you like to see things improved going forwards?
Well, I wouldn't like to just say it's a 2-year project that then ends, you know, and with no outcomes. So actually this could be a springboard to people with lived experience, like say, well, of whatever nomenclature, driving things forward, actually becoming consultants and, you know, setting up your own individual consultants and training schemes, yeah, and running them. So, because in a sense we're a lot freer than government, we don't have that political, you know, heavy-handedness on us.
There's a different motivation, is what you're saying, Rowland, isn't it?
Well, of course, because to me, this is our vocation in life, and there's nothing I'd rather be doing.
Exactly. I know you're a big believer in the saying, nothing about us without us. And I think that's what you've been saying throughout this entire interview. It's about people who've got that lived experience, you know, being able to support other people who perhaps haven't got that yet, in, you know, realising their potential and setting their own expectations. Would that be a fair reflection of what you've been saying, Rowland?
Of course it is, but the message we give out, if it is a message, is every one of us has gifts. For every one of us has something to bring to this world. I beg of you, nay, I beseech you to take this tip from nature, that the wood would be a silent place indeed, if only the birds with the best voices were allowed to sing. And last but not least, that the word impossible is found in any dictionary. Can we leave it there, please? I thank you for your time, for time is all we get.